Hello Scorpio, thank you for joining me here. This is gonna be your monthly reading for month of January 2020, all right? And before we start, as usual, I want to thank you all of you for uh, watching my videos, joining my channel, subscribing, liking, sharing, and also who has donated to this channel. Okay, and for this starting from this month, I'm gonna do this reading a little differently, so I'm just gonna tell you how I'm gonna do it so you have an idea. So I have separated these major arcanas from this entire deck of tarot, and I'm gonna be pulling one card to get where you are, because major arcana, it indicates the cycle where we are, because it starts from the Fool and ends the journey with the World, and there is like in between there is total 22 cards. So depending on what card I'm getting, we are gonna be focusing on that phase of the of your cycle, and how, and then we are gonna get more cards from different tarot deck, and we are gonna get what's happening within that cycle and how we can enhance that energy and understand our surroundings in a better way. All right, without any further delay, my friend, let's get into this. I'm gonna get one card now. Scorpio for January. All right, let's see. Star, beautiful. Who else got that? I think Aquarius got this. Okay, so star. So star, this card is extremely spiritual because it's come right after the tower. Okay, before I the tarot card, total 22 cards, right? But Fool is 0, so we don't count that as a number. So 1 to 21, so if you divide it by in 3, for the equal number for each segment is like 777, and the star comes into the third segment, which is extremely spiritual card section. And tower, and it comes right after the tower is anything that is not serving you, anything that you kind of let that energy to overpower you and kind of throw you out of the balance. Tower comes and just eliminate all this kind of extra energy that you don't need, and which is kind of actually more than helping you, kind of distracting you, or creating more conflict for you to get where you want to get, to do what you want really actually desire, or to align with your purpose. So star is comes after tower, so it's like this calmness after the storm. Oh my god, that's, when I was thinking about your reading before I started this reading, I don't know, this phrase came to my mind as well, like the calmness after the storm. And again, this, okay, so I feel like there is a lot of healing, there is a lot of kind of, you feel that you are back into in connection with yourself. There's a lot of healing that's started to take place from the get-go of January, to 2020. And I feel like it's gonna make you feel very nice. You are not really bothered by others people energy too much and how they are kind of what they're saying. You are not really minding others people business. You are kind of focusing on your own healing, but it's not like a selfish way. It's a very collective, it's a very inclusive energy that you are, but it's like very calm and peaceful. You are starting to heal, you are starting to let go all this kind of things. Maybe there are some things that did not pan out the way you wanted, way you desired, way you hoped in last year, or maybe in last few years. And you are kind of letting all this kind of frustration, like disappointment, the expectation did not pan out, people who did let you down, all this kind of feelings that you have been, because you are very deep sign, you feel very deeply. So sometimes you don't verbalize those things because you feel like people are not gonna be attuned with your deep senses or deep feelings. But it's there, it's you carry this inside. So but I feel like with 2020, with the star card here in January specifically, you are kind of letting all this go, and you are kind of healing, you are kind of focusing on your own betterment, you are kind of focusing on your own emotional upliftment, emotional, your own, your own self, let's say in that way. And you're kind of letting all this negativity, but you learned a lot from that, and you would realize that there is no point of holding on to that, because you learned whatever you have to learn from that experiences, and it's time to let go. And you realize that the moment you realize that, that's what the healing takes place. Healing is before healing starts, there's a lot of preparation, I think. In order to let things go, it's not easy to let things go easily. You may be thinking about letting things go, not holding this baggage, not holding these negative feelings, but it's very hard to finally do it. It takes a lot of thinking process and a lot of courage to actually do it. And I feel like past few months you have been thinking and reminiscing over this, I need to let that go, I need to let, but finally you are coming to do that. And I feel like January is that month you are really letting this go, you are really understanding what those experiences served you. And now these things, you don't want to invest any more emotion and any more feelings into all those past things, which does not really give you anything in return. And so that's why the star card is here, and you are starting to heal, you are starting to feel your own element, you are starting to be more you. And whosoever that person is within you, you are starting to be more attuned with that person, with that self of yours. All right, so this is our energy that crowning the reading. Okay, let's get into, I'm gonna shuffle this, put this back. Let's see what else we have for you. I just realized the moment I stopped talking about the star and started shuffling, that silence is like an interlude of silence. I really enjoyed that. Just a extra note. Oh wow, so many cards that came out. I'm not gonna take all of this, but it felt so urgent. But it's like, look at this, I cannot take all of this. It's like, what, 10, 12. Yeah, maybe that's what I meant by when I said that you feel so deeply but you don't share because you feel like that people won't be able to understand your depth. um like sometimes you just put things back inside because you feel like it's just too much. You your depth is too much for others. People don't have the capacity. And then when you actually say something or express yourself, then they feel like, oh my god, why you are so much, why you are so intense, why you are so overwhelming. But it's not that. They just don't see the depth that you see. Alright. Cards are falling all over the place. Okay, alright, let me take that. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I really feel like that in past, like in last few months, I'm connecting with people who are like, you really felt neglected. You really felt that your values, like the value that you bring as a person is not appreciated. It's not been understood. It's not been acknowledged. And there is this sense of I don't think you vocalize that too much to them because it felt like almost talking to the wall, because they don't have that capacity to understand your emotional depth and your understanding of how intensely you feel things. And you kind of put it back inside of yours, but it really did make you feel a lot. I'm not gonna say it did break your confidence or anything, but it really disappointed you, you know. And this King of Cups, yeah, it's like a lot of emotion that you hold. And I feel, excuse me, and I feel like this is it's definitely towards some person. I really feel this is I'm talking here, I'm getting the energy of a connection, like whether it's a relationship, partnership, whether it's a family, all kind of relationship based. It's not really other things like a career, job, or not. I feel like this is something relation based. And King of Cups, seriously, you have so much emotion for them, and your emotion was really, you are vibing on a very mature level. You were, like you had all this emotion, but you felt like they did not appreciate for whatever reason. But it, because you were vibing so in a mature way, it did not break your confidence or anything. It did not break your way of loving it. It did not make you feel doubtful of your own way of loving things and own way of connecting with people. It just made you feel very disappointed, or made you feel very sad. Not even disappointed, yeah, maybe there is a disappointment there, but it made you feel very sad. But these are all past energy that I'm picking on, past few months or years. Let's get another card for this Five of Pentacles and King of Cups. Oh my god, again star. Scorpio, I can tell that you are so over it. It's not that, it's not a like angrily over, oh, I'm not gonna think about that person, I'm not gonna, they are just trash, not like a negative way, but you really understanding that how much emotion that you pour and how little you got. And you realizing that it's not their fault or your fault, it's just that they are not vibing on the same energy that you are vibing. And you are realizing that, in the beginning of the January, and maybe you have already realized because you already started healing. This Five of Pentacles, whosoever made you feel that your emotions are not valid, and kind of maybe it also made you feel that you are a little strange. They made you question, and not question, you did not question yourself, but you saw that they are questioning and kind of frowning, that like, why is Scorpio behaving like that? It's like almost like a strange element to them. And it made you feel like, you are not seeing me, you are not seeing me where I'm coming from. And it made you really feel sad. I feel a lot of sadness and heartbroken. I'm sorry, I'm really really feeling that. But you are forgiving, you're all these things, you are understanding that it's not their fault, or you are not holding any grudge or any kind of anger against them. You are just realizing that it's just not supposed to happen. And maybe there is, like, you realizing that again, the star card, you are healing, you're really really healing, you have started to healing now, and started to heal now. It's really good, it's really beautiful. I'm gonna get one more card for King of Cups. Now you look at them, you don't really look at, I don't think you guys are in communication, or maybe you can be, but you don't have that love for them anymore, because you really kind of look at this King of Cups, because you are really sitting on at your place, like whatever, not at your place, you know what I mean, like you are there, and you are just looking, at the situation, and you are kind of distance yourself because you are started to heal, so you're kind of distance yourself. But now you're looking at the situation and you feel like there is a lot of understanding for that person, lot of compassion, but you don't feel that love anymore, because you understand that they are not gonna be vibing with where you are coming from. They never really saw you for who you are. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, King of Cups. Page of Pentacles. Hold on, let me get this. Yeah, you are like, that person really gave you a sense of promise. That person really gave you that hope that yes, there can be a understanding between two people in a very deeper level. They gave you those hope, and you long for that connection, you long for that depth between two people. And right now you are right now, as I said, that you are kind of you distanced yourself from this, nitty gritty of this matter, because you started to heal. And now you really see that person has a lot, maybe have a lot of good intention, but it's like I said, like, look at this, you are King of Cups, they are Page of Pentacles, so there is a lot of maturity gap. The way they view the world and the way you view the world is massively different. They are starting their journey, they have a lot to understand about their own surroundings. Right now they are focused on, they want to, they are not, they are not selfish or anything, but they don't vibe, they cannot feel that depth that you feel, because they are just page, and they are starting to do, but they have good intention, and you saw that intention, good intention in them, and you feel like yes, they it gave you hope that there is people who still have good intention, who still want to grow in life, not just chase and race and win, but grow in life. So that gave you a sense of hope, that gave you a sense of, that's why you feel so disappointed, that's why it took you so hard to get out of this kind of disappointment, because this disappointment is not just coming from that person, it's coming from this idea that people are not, you feel that hope that people are ready to see the depth of human heart. They are not just about output, they are not just about material goal, but they are ready, people are seeking to see the human heart, the bottom of the human heart, what lies there, and that gave you hope. But they are just really page. They may be in, when they have more spiritual awakening, when they understand their surroundings a little differently, or maybe little more mature, maybe that time they will be understanding where you came from. But right now they cannot see, because right now they are really focusing on this. They are just, okay, I have this new intention, what I'm gonna do, because they don't know what to do with this intention. They don't know how to really actualize their intuition in their intention into something good, something good deed, or something good act. They just don't know yet. They haven't figured all this out. So when you talk about depth, when you talk about emotion, when you talk about human heart connection, it really, they feel themselves being there, but right now it just goes over their head. And you right, more and more you are detaching from this situation, more and more this kind of clarity about their own positioning coming to you, and you are not holding anything anger or negative attitude towards them. You are just understanding where they came from, because that's how you are starting to heal, because you're really understanding the situation now. Okay, let's see. Mm-mm. 2 of Wands. Yeah, you are looking at your own journey now, you know as you are figuring out what actually happened, because before it was, you are all kind of wrapped up in your emotion, and you feel like nobody will, you felt kind of defeated in your life purpose. It felt like, why I'm feeling so deep, why I'm thinking about this deep connection with other people, when other people are don't really care about. You feel like your whole purpose, it really like, that's what I'm saying, it's like a very sad feelings, and not just, and it just did not derive from this one particular person. It's like a cumulative kind of emotion from all over, throughout your life, and this person kind of triggered that thing, because this person, you felt that hope and it did not pan out. But right now, because as you are healing, started to heal, you are really, you know thinking about future now, like thinking about what's in the horizon, thinking about how you can progress, how you can utilize these like deep feelings and depth that you have, which is not very rare things, right? Feelings, one's emotion, feelings our existence in so deeply, it's like a huge talent. And you are thinking like, how I can transform this talent into something which is more productive, which is more, which will be useful for the, like for my own growth, for the growth of humanity, like that kind of thing. You are thinking big, you are looking at the horizon, you are thinking about how you can use your whatever talent you have, your nature, how you can use your nature for a bigger good, better good for yourself and for others. Nine of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I feel like there is a lot of expansive energy there. I'm gonna get more cards to get a layered reading of on this too. But I feel like, like with Nine of Cups in reverse and Two of Wands, I feel like you are kind of, you're really like with two star card here. I really feel like I'm connecting with someone who is spiritually expanding like in a rapid way. You don't see any value anymore to just be content with yourself and rest of the world just can go fuck themselves, not like that. You are really not, you are spiritually so much expanding. You are thinking about, you are not just thinking about your own betterment. You are thinking about, okay, I see the world so deeply, so passionately, so connectively, how I can bring that to the other people. You are thinking more beyond yourself, and that is beautiful. This break, this situation that did not really pan out, it motivated you to do something bigger than yourself, and you are not just thinking about your own happiness anymore. This thinking beyond of yourself will give you immense happiness that you can ever contain. And you realizing that how you can bring it to the world, how you can bring it your nature, your talent to the world, just by you, just by being you. You know what I mean? You don't need an extracurricular activities or extra set of skills to bring it to the world. You just realizing that how much you have within you, and you are trying to bring that whatever you have within, which is like this deep emotion and sensitivity towards other people, understanding the scenario from, like, from, like, you are a deep ocean fish. So from this deep point of view, you're thinking like how you're gonna bring, you're gonna it's gonna be, you're gonna bring it to the world in a very significant way. I can sense this. I'm looking at this card and I'm sensing this powerful feelings that you are gonna bring to the world, and it's gonna be beyond. It's not just me kind of energy. It's like beyond. You are going beyond yourself. This is gonna be like, I really feel like you're gonna, this is your turning point, one of the turning point of your life. Whatever happened in last few months, this really inspired you, because now you started to heal, now you started to understand what actually happened in the situation, and it just fired you up to do something which is bigger and better than yourself. Okay, I'm gonna get more cards on this. Page of Swords. Oh my god, seriously, look at this. Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords. You are understanding as you are, okay, I'm gonna get, oh my god, this is so beautiful, Scorpio. I'm gonna get another card, then I'm gonna get more details on this. Okay, this is very significant section here right now. Okay, with Page of Swords in reverse and Two of Wands, I really feel like that you are realizing that, with Page of Swords in reverse and I have Two of Wands. I was saying that you are realizing that life is not all about just talk the talk and don't walk the walk. You are realizing that dedication. You are realizing, this person, it really did you a wonder in disguise. Even though you are heartbroken, even though you feel like that your hope is never gonna, you kind of felt a little bleak, but you are realizing that in order to really do something, page of swords can be, it's like a communication, it's a mind, like they can promise a lot of things, they can talk about a lot of things, but they don't follow through because they just don't know how to do it, because they are page, but their intention is not bad. When they say something, they are not deliberately lying or anything, but you are understanding that where this coming from. You are understanding that if you really want to do something with your life, you need to understand the talk, and you also need to walk the walk. You are understanding this incident, whatever happened in your life in past few months or maybe a year, it's really giving you all these different perspectives so that you can move forward. You are realizing, you are like standing there and your mind is realizing, it's like all of a sudden everything is coming in front of you and kind of revealing themselves in a true manner, and you are seeing that how important it is to believe in oneself, and then take that belief and put it into the world and do something which is bigger than oneself. Because like I said, nine of cups in reverse, you are thinking beyond yourself. You are not just satisfied, just be happy by yourself. You are not thinking about just yourself, because you're realizing that the more you think about your own emotion, okay, how I get hurt, why they hurt me, why they are not talking to me, why they don't see my value, why, if when you put this energy only towards yourself, it only cause heartache, it's only cause that nobody sees your value, it's only cause this kind of pain. But now you are looking at, you are going beyond yourself, and now you see that how just focusing on just thinking about your emotion, like how you are getting like it's not selfish, it's like sometimes we are just too wrapped up in ourselves that we don't see the bigger picture sometimes. And you realizing that by doing this, like my emotion, my fulfillment, my security, those my oriented thoughts, how much it hurt you. Now you are going beyond that. You are going beyond. Look at this. Look at the posture of these two person. One is closed off because they are happy whatever they have, and they feel like, okay, I have everything, now I can feel fulfilled. The other person is open up. He say, okay, I have all this, I'm looking beyond what I have. So you see that how the energy is transforming with this 2 star and healing card. And in between the heartache, this heartache is actually did a wonder to your life. You are always gonna, seriously, maybe now you don't see that, but once you really deep in the January, you are gonna really feel, oh my god, thank god I went through that experience, because it really let me understand that how I have to think beyond myself. If you really want to explore my true essence and my true depth that I feel, that true talent that I'm born with, that nobody, not many people can feel that depth in human connection I feel. So I cannot just wrapped up in my own world and feel heartache all the time, because other people not gonna see my depth. So I will always end up feeling this kind of 3 of swords kind of pain, disappointment, frustration, neglected, and that can only give rise to this kind of revenge, this kind of negative energy out of it. But now you're going past through it, saying how I'm gonna take what I have already within and put it out in the world. You are thinking beyond yourself, and that is like marvelous. I'm this energy, oh my god, it's just giving me, seriously, it's giving me joy. Let's get more card. I know it's already quite a long reading, but you see why it is, and I just don't feel like I need to stop. When I feel like stop, I will stop. Okay, let's get more card. Eight of Cups in reverse. And okay, here is the twist. It's gonna be long reading. Oh my god, because I got the twist. While you, this is like a side energy, I don't wanna spend too much energy on this, but it came right after the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is the other person's energy, and I feel like they don't wanna let you go. They really don't wanna let you go. They know that they disappoint you. They know that they cannot be on your level, but they really don't want you to let you go. They really don't want you to go away. But it doesn't matter right now. You are beyond all this. But this is just a side, sorry. This is just a side note that I'm getting here. They really don't want to let you go. They just feel like, Scorpios, don't leave me. But they're not trying. I mean, they can be trying, but they have a long way to go to catch you up with. You know, I'm not saying this can be completely break up or something. You should completely, but I feel like you should do whatever you are doing. It's like healing and expanding your vision. And you know, while you are doing this, if they get this kind of vibe, if they can understand the depth, then you guys can can meet up and can form a connection. But right now I feel like this is not your priority, because you realize that more you invest energy in that, all it can produce is Five of Pentacles and heartache. Because you get into this kind of vicious cycle when you feel disappointed, because you feel like you are not acknowledged for what you actually valued for. And they need a lot of understanding to really understand where you are coming from and where you are doing your stuff. You know, like I said, like how you are approaching life right now with Two-Star card. You should go ahead and do it. And if they follow, you know, catch up, if you guys meant to be from, you know, connect again, it will happen. But I really don't think, and I really don't feel that you are gonna be investing any energy to that, even though they don't want that. They don't want you to just completely forget them and go away with your own vision. But I feel like that's some immature energy right there. You know, if they feel that, you know, let them feel. I'm not in a revenge way, but they have to go through the process on their own as well. Let's see what else we can. Justice just, it did not come out, but it just showed itself. So yeah, you have to be a little bit objective here. And that you love them. Yes, you do. I mean, right now you don't feel that love for them, because right now you're focused on other things, but you know, like, you do have I mean, you understand them, you care for them. So maybe, you know, but you have to be like justice, you know, like what do you need to do, not what, you know, your impulse tells you to do sometimes. No, it's like you have to be like justice, you know, like this kind of little bit objective oriented right now. See the things for what they are. Okay, I'm gonna get one more card and then we're gonna wrap this reading. Final card. God, so many cards comes out. Why? Why so many cards come out? again, so many. I'm not gonna take. I'm gonna shuffle one more and see what's there. Alright, it feels like there is a pattern, 3 times 3 cards, so I'm just gonna take it. Okay. We got 5 of Cups in reverse, then 4 of Swords and the 5 of Swords. Yeah, you are not mourning over it, because you got this spiritual enlightenment. You are understanding the things for it, and you are really looking back at the situation, and you are really understanding that how there is a certain element was so immature, and how it was maybe at some point in this whole thing you both kind of got a little self-absorbed, like, what about me, what about, why don't you understand me, oh, why don't you see my way of things. It's like you both maybe kind of stuck with that kind of understanding of what I am getting out of the situation, but now you are looking at this whole thing and you are understanding all these things, little things that did not make sense at that time, that only created pain at the time, 3 of Swords and 5 of Pentacles. But now with the spiritual healing with 4 of Swords, you are really not gloomy anymore. You are healing. Of course there is a sense of sadness somewhere there, but it's just there, it's you are like brightening up. You are bringing something major coming into the world, because you are understanding, like, you want to go beyond yourself, and you understanding that what kind of treasure you already hold within, Alright, Scorpio, I think that's it for this month, and I wish you all the best. And this is beautiful, beautiful energy.